Chapter 1. Childhood. 9/11/2001. It was a bad day. But 5 years sharp before that, I was born. My name is Ivan. It was the most Russian name my parents could come up with. By the way, this is my dad, my mom, my dog, Rix. Nice little family, but something is missing. Oh yeah, my sister Polly. We have a 4-year gap with her and she's a very nice girl. By the time I turned 4 years, I went to kindergarten. I always liked drawing, reading books, and encyclopedias. Yeah, a weird hobby for a kid. I still remember my dad reading Harry Potter for me every night before I go to sleep. But mainly, my childhood was in St. Petersburg, another city in Russia, in my grandparents' house. And here starts the magic. The number of that house is actually 44. But what is bad, Rix, our dog, had to move there because it was just too little space for 5 of us. But he had a friend there, Charlie, which is my grandfather's dog. My grandfather, yeah, he has always been a life coach to me. I loved him a lot and I still do. Chapter 2. Golden Years of School. 2002, primary school started. Actually, I took my English classes a year before school, and I was the best student right away. I made a couple of friends there who were Gus, who you may know from my older videos, and Zidane. Zidane is not his actual name. His name is Ivan, as well as mine. But he was a really keen footballer, so we gave him a nickname of a French player. Back then, I was a bit chubby, and as you may guess, alongside with my showing off at English classes, I was bullied. They called me a fat show-off. But I cared not. I kept on drawing cars, speaking English, and started playing soccer as well. I got a jersey with number 44 on it, and I was very proud of myself. My studies were not going so cool, as I was just not motivated. I basically saw no point in studying damn maths and other subjects. Only art, PE, and English lessons made me more or less happy. At that time, Rix died. He was run over by a car. Whole family was sad, but my grandfather, he just died inside. Sure, to be honest now, he loved Rix and Charlie more than anyone else, but we will come to that a little bit later. As my grades were breaking bad and I was doing nothing but drawing and playing video games on my PSP during classes, teachers were getting mad at me more and more. So my mom decided that I need to change schools and change my attitude, as the relationships with teachers were ruined. That was the 8th grade. New school, new life. I promised myself I would study properly and do my best to have good relationships with both teachers and classmates. Private schools actually have pretty weird classes. I had 8 people in mine and only 2 boys with me. It was me and Peter. But then I met Natalie. She was my classmate. Beautiful girl with dark hair. I fell in love almost right away. But I had one big problem. My belly. I started working out every day and I managed to lose weight and build up some muscles. Not that much muscles. It took me about half a year to get in shape, so we started dating in March 2012. We were still kids and had no idea what to do, how to behave, so our dating was more like friendship with hugs and kisses. Back then I was going to be a surgeon, as my mom told me. Her words were like, "That is a very interesting and highly paid job." So I started studying chemistry, biology, and passed my pre-final exams in 9th grade awesomely. Then I found out you have to study for more than a decade to become a surgeon, so I gave up on this idea. So, trying to forget anatomy, I studied social science and other stuff for 2 years before graduation. State exams, passed, university. And here my life started falling apart. Chapter 3. Becoming a man. Higher School of Economics, most prestigious university in Russia. I turned 18. But there was a problem. You see, my parents always told me what to do, so I was like a chained beast having no freedom, but as soon as you turn 18 in Russia, you can do pretty much anything you want. It happened so I met a couple guys at the university who who were just like me. They just wanted to have fun. Alcohol, parties, nightclubs, studies were gone and forgotten. I was just paying no attention to it, and I've ended failing all of my exams. Then we broke up with Natalie as, well, the relationship started going bad. Just bad. In July 2015, I thought, I'm gonna be a proper student and just be a nice guy this time. So I was absorbed in books and articles on economics for a couple months. In October 2015, me and Gus went to Halloween party. First party in a long time for me. And guess what? By good fortune, I met Ivan, Zidane, at that party, friend of my childhood. Three of us had a great time. Me and Gus have always known Ivan to be a quiet guy who loved sports, books, and video games. That night he turned into a party animal. He picked up a girl, had fun with her, dancing, singing, and hanging out heavily. So we decided we would have another party on his birthday that was coming. But it never happened. Ivan died. He has always been a man of sport, and he was just taking part in an athletics event in his university. He suffered a great fall, and he injured his head. He fell to coma, and in a week he was gone. I miss you, my friend. I kept on studying, met a girl whose name was, well, let's say, Mrs. A. She was a very nice girl, but the relationships, well, didn't work out for us. We were trying just to be friends, and I was trying to forget the sorrow of the loss of my friend. I spent a lot of time doing nothing, and I failed one of my exams. I was so pissed. I changed the university because I was not ready to do the same stuff third time in a row. But I ended up studying economics again. In May 2016, last year, I started doing YouTube. But I had so many problems in life, relationships with my family, lack of cash, everything was going down. Then I had a huge quarrel with Gus because of some misunderstanding, and in October 2016, my grandfather died. He was slightly under 70 years old, but he had Alzheimer's, so everyone saw it coming. Probably the death of Rix was so bad to him, he just couldn't cope with the stress. And it was a tragedy to me. My grandfather just brought me up, and seeing his tombstone was so hard. In the end, what did I have? Relationships with my dad and mom, bad. Relationships with a girl, ruined. Studies, not going so well. Best friend, lost. I was broken, and I put on the mask with bright smile and happy eyes, for no one could see what's inside. We have an annual tradition with my family. Every year, we come to St. Petersburg to our old country house. Right after clock struck midnight of the 1st January 2017, I went outside to have a breath of cold winter air, smoked a cigarette, and saw the precious number above the entrance of the house. 44. I remembered my childhood magic. It was not only about my jersey. Every time I saw this number, something good happened. Every time I saw this number, I made right decisions. And it was like a cavalry helmet to me all the time. I made a resolution not to give up. No matter what, I must not give up. I promised myself to be a man of my word. And here I am today, making this video, not because it's million subscribers, not because it's billion views, only because I want to tell you my story. And thank you for just being with me and helping me be myself. No one knows what's going to happen in a decade. But you have my word. I will be here with you as long as you hear from me. This was my story, but our story is only starting. Thanks for watching.